Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Sunny, and welcome to episode 8 of my podcast, Sunny's Geeky Grove. And today I'm going to be discussing yet another video game that I love. Today, we're going to be talking about Diablo 3. I have Diablo 3 on all three platforms, on PlayStation, Xbox, and on my computer. It is one of those games that is just really super fun. I was excited when it was ported to console, and I got it for the 360, and then I got Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls for the 360, and when I got my Xbox, you bet your ass, the first game that I bought was Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. So I love it. Obviously, I have discussed my love for Diablo before, talking about Diablo 2, doing like bail runs and trying to level up my character to 100 and never getting there. The highest level I had was 98. But that love translated into Diablo 3 as well. When it first came out on the PC, I was so excited. I got the collector's edition, which came with the Diablo and Soulstone thumb drive, which on the thumb drive was Diablo and Diablo II Lord of Destruction. Super amazing. I tried to install it on my Sony Vaio at the time, and they did not run. For some reason, they just would not run. But Diablo 3 ran perfectly, so that was great. And it came with the books, like the art book, and then the soundtrack, I believe, which was a lot of fun. And I installed it, and the servers were down. Oh boy, I remember sitting there for hours watching it install and waiting for the servers to come back on. Whew, it was a pain. I think I waited a good day or two before trying again and just really, just waiting for their servers to rebound from millions of people trying to log on at the same time. Eventually, you got on, you got to play, got to experience the story. It was so much fun. I know for 100% certain the very first class that I picked was a wizard. I picked a wizard because, of course I did. I love shooting fire from my hands, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's what I did. That is always, every time I've played Diablo, that's always been the class that I choose first, is wizard, sorceress, that type of thing. Because that's just my cup of tea. I just really love it so much. And it does have its downfalls. Some of the, as you can see, there are things on the screen that constantly pop. That is from a modded weapon and modded rings. And I think my amulet's not modded anymore. I had one, but I just, it was too much. So I don't wear that. There are weaknesses that people can exploit. I've never done it because I don't know how. And I would just be playing in a game and somebody would drop something for me and tell me to pick it up. And I'd pick it up and equip it. And I wouldn't necessarily know, hey, this is modded, until I would keep seeing those things popping up constantly. The status effects that say missing or unknown or error. And the first few times I did that on the Xbox, I was very confused. And I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And so I finally figured it out when there was that duping exploit and then the modding exploit that people were exploiting. And I did take place in it on another character on another account. And I duped some gold. That's a thing that happened. I had like 10,000 gold and I started duping it back and forth. And then I had like 1,000,000,000 and I'm like, well, I think I'm going to stop because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get banned. So, but I did it on on a Smurf account because I didn't know if it would work and if I would get banned. So I didn't do that. So I didn't do that. I have sank so many hours into this game. It's a lot of fun, even with the modded weapons and the exploits. One of which, if you will see, my Paragon level is like 4,700, 4,900. That is high as fuck. Like, that's not humanly possible, I feel. And what happened with that was I want to say I was doing some greater rifts where, you put in the keystone fragment and you go to a rift and then you get different keystones to unlock greater rifts, and then they're higher difficulties, and they don't drop items in the rift. At the end, they just drop blood shards and then a lot of items there, and then you get the jeweler who will upgrade a gem. Anyway, not the point. I was in one, I believe, and I had joined a random lobby, a random party, and I go in and I fast travel to one of the people, and they killed one thing, and all of a sudden I just started glowing and nonstop glowing for 10 minutes for the entire duration. I believe I was a Paragon level 17 that I had done on my own, all by myself. I was so proud. I was like, woo, I'm 17. When I left, I was 4,100. And then I was like, wow, what even is this? How did they do it? Where did they go? Do they want to do it more for me? What's the max? They were max. They were 9,999 Paragon level. And as you may or may not know, when you create a new character, once you hit level 70, then you start accumulating experience to level your Paragon. And when you start a brand new character, your Paragon level and your Paragon skill points transfer over to that. So you could essentially make a brand new character and then go to your Paragon and enter in all of those points. And so now you have like 5 million health, 5 billion damage, and like 5,000 crit chance, and you're level 1. It benefits you for leveling up your Paragon, but when it's been exploited like that, it creates that unfair balance. So 9 times out of 10, when I create a new character, unless it's a very squishy one and I want to just like hurry up and power level, I won't put those Paragon points in until I hit level 70, because I feel like it's cheating, because it is. I mean, my character was power leveled to such a degree that it makes new experiences with new characters a little tainted. And when the Necromancer came out, it wasn't really squishy. It was actually pretty overpowered as it was. So I still don't think I've put any points into my Necromancer. And I have one of every class fully up to level 70, so all up into the Paragon levels and experiencing that. And I've found that my favorite class besides Wizard is Demon Hunter. I just love the Rain of Arrows skill. It's a lot of fun when you get the rune that unlocks it to make it so that it follows you. It's just really cool, and it can deal a lot of damage. And I love the idea of placing like the crossbow mortars, if you will. They're not mortars. They're like Gatling gun turrets. Crossbow turrets. That's what I'm trying to say. I love those, and if you have a specific rune unlocked, you can have 3 at a time and they can heal, and it's just great. And there's a familiar that you can have, which is a crow. It's so fucking cool. And the barbarian is probably my 4th favorite, just because I don't know, she's great. Strong, and then it reminds me of Lord of Destruction, Diablo II, where the barbarians were just like tanks and beasts, and everybody wanted to play as a barbarian. Which, I mean, that's fair. That is fair. So, but probably my third favorite class would be the Necromancer. It's very much so Diablo II reminiscent and very much a nostalgia type feel. And I love it so much. It's just so wholesome to have those nostalgia feelings for Diablo 2 while playing Diablo 3. One of my favorite games. Obviously, that's why I'm talking about it. It's also one of those games where you can just lose yourself in the routine of, okay, I'm going to go do some bounties. Okay, now that I've turned in all of the bounties, now I'm going to do a few greater rifts. Okay, I've done a few greater rifts. I'm going to spend some blood shards. Okay, I've got nothing on that. All right, let's go ahead and farm some keys. Cool, I've got all my infernal machines now. Let's go ahead and do some Ubers, which I will put the Uber clip in right here. The Uber mobs are the bosses, and they're supposed to be very, very powerful. This footage is not sped up. This is all real time, and as you can see, I'm fucking up finding the infernal machines, and I used the unnamed one first, which I did not want to do. I wanted to use the named ones first, and then the last one that didn't have a name. Yeah. Anyway. So the Ubers are supposed to be harder, supposed to be extra challenging, and then you get specific organs and like body parts or idols, and then you can use those to create Hellfire amulets and Hellfire rings, which from Diablo 2 were really great items, super powerful. It was always like, whoa, you have the Hellfire torch? Oh my god, how did you get that? Who got that for you? You bought that, didn't you? And then in D3, womp womp, not that great. You can find better stuff. In fact, there are a lot better things, items, amulets, and rings that you can find, that you can craft, that you can socket and make better with different gems and jewels, and it's not as great as it used to be, and that's okay. It's okay to have things like that, but one of the things that I do miss is that aspect of having that, oh man, you mean you have that? Like, it's fairly easy to get full sets of armor and clothing. Full sets, like the full Chandra's Embrace and the full, like, Immortal King set. Whereas in Diablo 2, it was like, wow, how did you get the belt for that Ix set, the Immortal King? How did you get the belt for that? Oh, I have the hands for it. I'll trade you my hands for your belt. Nah, man, I've got a full set. Why would I want to break it up? I already have hands. Oh, but these hands are better. Don't you want to trade? Come on, trade. You have that thing and aspect, but in D3, it's more, oh, I've got 7 helms for the Trangul set, and I already have 7 full sets, and And look at that, I have 14 homes altogether. It's just, you get them so often. Whether or not you necessarily need them, because they might not be your class, or you might have better ones in your stash, or you might have, no need for it. It's just, they're more common. And having a full set of green set armor is not necessarily better than pushing it out and having some legendaries, some different set items, and then having just a rare, because they made the balance of the items more even, I guess you could say, more fair, which is disappointing to say the least, because I want that working to get it, trading with other people, posting, hey, going to the D3 forums, ooh, I have this, this Trangle's helm. Does somebody want to trade me for the hands or the feet? Like, I want to experience that again. And that's not in D3, really, which is fine. I understand that games evolve, but that's kind of the aspect of D2 that was really exciting, that was lost in Diablo 3. Another thing they added was the real money marketplace, because in D2 you had d2trade.org, which was this like farming site that would go and farm all these items, and you could buy them with real money. You could sell your items. I remember, or maybe you couldn't. I'm thinking of the real money marketplace. No, but you could buy items and they would meet you in game and they would drop it off and give it to you. And I remember when D3 came out with the real money auction house, it was basically the same thing, but Blizzard took it over and put it in the hands of the players. And then it was all the players posting their stuff for real money, for in-game gold, and saying, I'd accept a trade. It was good in concept, kind of, maybe a little bit. Really bad in practice. But I do remember selling at least 3 things, and I think I made almost $3, 3 whole dollars after all of my fees. I raked in the dough, I did. It was phenomenal. It was life-changing. I was truly blessed. But I do still enjoy the game so much, and it's a lot of fun. I think that it's one of those games where you can play solo, you can play with friends, you can play with strangers, and still get the full experience, because things are harder when there are other people there. Or you can lower the difficulty, of course. Or if you're alone, you can ramp up that difficulty and make it the same. So it's all how you want to play. And I highly recommend it. So right now, if you were to buy it on Xbox for Xbox Live, if you have gold, it's only $19.80. Or it's on sale for 60% off for the next 7 days. It's $24. And then on the Nintendo Switch, you can get it for $39.59 right now. It looks like it's also on sale. And then it looks like for physical copies for the PlayStation and PC, it's about $20. And I'm sure it's probably full price on Blizzard. For some reason, I can't find that. But at GameStop, which, choice is yours if you go to GameStop, it's about $20 for a physical disc, it looks like. So yeah, it's available on Xbox, PS4, Switch, and the PC. And do not even think about getting Diablo Immortal on your phone. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want that. You want a real Diablo 4. Obviously, they did put that call to arms for designers and such for an unnamed project, but we can't say for certain that that's for Diablo 4. But we will keep our hopes up, eternally up. And obviously, it'll probably come out on PC first before it makes its way to consoles. That's how Blizzard is. Hopefully not, moving forward, since we're almost to the next gen consoles already. But you never know with Blizzard. So I want to thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble about Diablo 3 and basically Diablo 2 and comparing them. If you like this video, make sure to thumb it up. Leave a comment down below if you ever played Diablo 2 and 3. If you've played one or the other, what are your thoughts on Blizzard as a company in general? Make sure you smash that subscribe button and obliterate the heck out of that bell notification to turn those on so you'll get a nice little ping notification every time I upload. If you'd like to tune in Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunny will be reading a creepypasta for Frightening Fridays. Or if you want to check me out, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is an episode of my podcast, Sunny's Geeky Grove. I've been Sunny, you've been fantastic, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!